are excited to be back.
Glory. Yes, we are.
We took a few weeks
That's
off,
it.
and which doesn't mean that we don't have something to say. But I think we're about to make up for lost time. You have that feeling?
Got it. I
Yeah.
got it. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
Well, I'm here with my good friend Brick, Police Chief Brick, and they call you Brick, don't they?
Yes, it does.
For a good reason.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yes. So he's the police chief in our city, but more important than that, he's my good friend. And we have a good time together. We get together for coffee a lot. And I wonder how many pots of coffee we've had over the years.
Man, it's no telling. It's no telling. No telling, and it's good today too.
There you go. And they might want to see our cups here too.
Yes.
You know, we've got the cool cups, and they are in the Sanctuary store, by the way. WeAreMetal.com. Just thought I'd throw that in there
Throw that in, right?
because they're probably saying, I wish I had a cool cup like that.
That's it.
Yeah.
You can get it.
They just want to be cool like us. And who wouldn't? Yeah, that's it. Well, folks, we've talked a little bit about this pandemic, and we've kind of gone back and forth with it. And since the last time I think that we did a podcast, you had COVID.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And so, dealing with letting our listeners know that if you have dealt with it from a personal perspective, have family that's dealt with it, one, you have our prayers. That's one.
Yes.
The first thing, you have our prayers, and two, the last time we were together, we did a show on hope and the hope through all of it. But we want to understand, and want listeners to understand, our viewers to understand that we know that this is real.
Yeah.
And it's impactful, impact a lot of people, a lot of families in a lot of ways. And so we don't want to minimize the seriousness of COVID and everything that's going on. I know through all of this time, it's been politicized. It's been, even from the faith-based perspective, it's been, people have said, well, if you contract COVID, you must not have faith and enough faith and things like that.
And what do they say then when they get COVID?
I just use the word hogwash because it's real and it's not attached to anything about your faith.
No, it's not.
We know that if we contract, that I know our dependency is on Christ, and by His stripes we're healed. And
Yes,
so
absolutely.
but it's real, and so people are in real places, Pastor Bob. They're in real places, depression and things like that through
And
this
that's part
pandemic.
of COVID, isn't
Yes,
it?
yeah.
And it's not just depression, but it's
Come on.
deep depression,
deep,
isn't it?
deep depression.
Yeah.
Isolation
Yeah.
in itself is not good for all. There are different temperament types that
Yes.
fare better in isolation than others. If you're melancholic compulsive, that's isolation doesn't bother you one
Yeah.
bit. But if you're sanguine or that have that outward temperament
Yes.
that you need to be, that need is to be around people, then that isolation can be devastating within itself. So,
Absolutely.
we know that there have been, a lot of challenges that we face with the pandemic, but hey, God is still God, and He's on the throne.
Absolutely.
So we honor Him this day.
So it's not a simple thing to get through.
Mm.
And even though it's been a while since you had it, you said your energy level still isn't where you'd like it to be.
No, it's still
Yeah.
not back to what we call normal.
Yeah.
Taste and smell is not fully 100% back. But man, I thank God that I'm here. And,
Yes.
that we are able to fellowship and
Yes,
and,
exactly.
and to be with our viewers and again and just to live. I'm going to continue to just live for Him. We have work to do, man. We have so
We
much
do.
work to do.
An exciting year ahead.
Yes, exciting. And
Yeah.
we, if you've gone through COVID, if not only, as you just stated, Pastor Bob, COVID not only is the physical part of it, of what it does in your body, but through this whole pandemic of job loss, the isolations,
Yes.
the depressions, the things like that that people are dealing with, that are a result of, or part of this whole paradigm that we call COVID. Uh, and it's not just your city, your state, our country. This is
Yes.
worldwide.
Yes.
And so there are a lot of people that have been impacted, but again, we, as our last time we got together, there is hope.
There
And
is hope.
so we're grateful that that God is through the vaccinations and different things that have come about, through people just being more attentive to uh, do what's been recommended. Some of those things that,
Yeah.
we're praying that through prayer. That's the main thing,
Yeah.
because I believe, and this is just my belief. I believe that if it's going to be done away with, it's going to be done away with by the Lord.
Yeah.
And so,
Absolutely. Yes.
so, but it's real. It's real, and don't. The enemy would have you to feel ashamed and try to have, through other people, unfortunately, try to put a guilt trip on you about your faith and the connection of your faith, and you must not have enough faith. And
Right.
again,
Or it's not
don't
really
listen.
COVID. It must be something else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So now, at least in the county that we live in,
Mhm.
the restrictions are really lifting.
Right.
Unless a business requires it, you don't have to wear a mask anymore. Is that right?
Correct. Unless it's posted through a
Yeah, unless
business,
it's posted.
and
Yeah.
you go in. But we've also seen this pandemic, and are seeing, not it's not completely over with, what we're seeing from, because we had less enforcement. I didn't want our officers to go out and have a lot of contact with people, so we wasn't as
Yeah.
proactive as we are normally as an agency here in Mount
Yes.
Juliet. And from around this, I've noticed in the metropolitan area as well. And so what I've noticed is that more people have those that have the flexibility and ability to work from home were doing so. It allowed less traffic and automobiles to be on the roadway. But what we saw was people took that as that, okay, it's an autobahn. We're going to open it up, and man, the speeds are just man, incredible, because of the less traffic, and just people just taking that liberty to speed and drive. Now here's the danger, and that's a danger in and
Yes.
of itself right there. But here's the danger. Now that things, as you say, are opening up, people are getting back out. More traffic is getting back on the roadway, but people that had gotten into that speed mindset are still doing it, and we're seeing crashes and
Really?
crashes and crashes, and so that's part of the pandemic as well. And
I
so,
never would have thought of that.
and that's why
Yeah.
you see signs, and you may see it in your area, signs that are across the interstate saying that speeding is not the new norm. We can't make it and allow it to be our new norm.
good.
So
Yeah.
we're there are campaigns that are going on we have to get people to get back to some safety, because our crash numbers and our deaths in this state is high, man. It's high. We have higher numbers than even 2019.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
pedestrian deaths high up there, and so
Wow.
we as a community, as a global community, we need to do our part, and what we can do for safety
Yeah.
of ourselves and for others.
Do you think that we kind of forget what it was like a year ago
Right?
before all this started?
Yeah,
Because it's become, like you said, the new norm.
it's exactly, and but we just have to take precautions. I get it. Once it hit and everything shut down, people were allowed to work from home, or people were
Yes.
just off, jobs were lost, and there was less traffic on the road. I mean, me driving the roadways, you saw less traffic, but you saw individuals, men, especially on our interstates, you just saw individuals just, just flying.
Oh,
So,
I'm probably a little slower than most people, and sometimes too slow driving because I just like to enjoy.
yeah,
But I'll be going the speed limit, and I think, how come the only one people are just passing me like crazy, and it is more than usual. I think I hadn't put all that together, but I thought, does nobody drive
yeah.
the speed limit
Just,
anymore?
well, like I said, they got used to the traffic not being as bad, and so they were speeding, and still they've gotten into that mindset.
Yeah,
And they continue to, and like I said, unfortunately seeing a lot of crashes in our area. And so again, that's part of the pandemic. I I'm called as being a slow driver myself, but I'm just not slow. I'm careful,
yeah,
defensive driving and things like that. But it's a reason I do that. If it says 40, then I like doing 40. It's a reason I do that because of my witness. I not I don't want. I'm not a person that says, man, look, I can do what I want to do, and to me, it's hypocritical as a law enforcement officer if I'm going to be able to write somebody else a citation for speeding, but I myself speed. I can't do that.
that's
man.
the hypocrisy
Yeah,
in it.
and so
Yes.
I try to follow those laws, and people call me slow, but I just like I just like doing. I don't like being hypocritical, and
Absolutely.
I've had that with in the past with officers that I would stop officer and like, man, what are you doing? I said, how can you write somebody else a citation? They said, I just tell them sign here. I said, that's not worth a quarter, man.
No.
We need to set the example. So
Yeah, absolutely. James, another thing I've thought of during the pandemic, and this is the one that bothers me the most. As a Christian and as a pastor, one of the most important things that I feel like I can do is present my countenance to people when I'm communicating with them.
okay,
Your eyes,
yeah,
but more than that, your smile, your face
yeah,
sets the tone for what you're talking about. That mask for a year, for not just you and I, but for everyone,
yeah,
has almost made us consistent strangers to each other as far as emotional issues are concerned.
sure,
That's always been my biggest concern with the mask, is that I actually got one of those face shields that comes like this, and I wear that the most because it became so important for me to be able to communicate to people smiling. I'm used to that. You are too.
sure.
You go shopping and you say hello to everybody, and that mask was so restrictive, and that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to as all of this opens up again.
Right. To your point,
that,
I was at a place yesterday where quite a few people were, and masks were required.
Yeah.
And people were coming, and man, I couldn't readily recognize who they were, even though we were waving at each other, and I couldn't readily recognize. And in my mind, I'm like, man, who is that? I can't see
because you can't see their whole face.
Right.
Yeah.
And so until you come up talk, and then you know, oh, that's who that is.
Yes.
So I know exactly what you're saying.
Well, I've had a couple of health problems this year, and I have two doctors that I see regularly, and I realize that I don't know what either one of them look like.
Mm-hmm.
Even during operations and everything, I've never seen them without a mask. Now that's true with everybody that we have met in the last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
We become friends with people that we don't know what they look like.
Amen. But those are the challenges of this, and have been the challenge of this pandemic as well. And we just don't want, as they say, we're not out of the woods yet, but things will get better, and we're praying that God will bring breakthrough, and that we will get back. People have been saying that we'll get back to normal, but I want to get back to better.
Yes. Yes.
I
like that.
I want to get back to better. you know, even our normal what we thought it was, we can be better as a people and
Yes.
as a community. And so I want to get back to better, you know. So we're looking forward for some great things, man. And I'm just glad that we're back and able to
Yes.
get together. And
We're
man,
going to keep doing this.
Yes.
Yes. It's got to happen. Folks, I appreciate you joining us today, and this has been fantastic once again to sit down and chat. And there are some great days ahead. I named this year Revolution 2021,
Right.
and revolution with the L or the love part reversed, and revolution, the revolution of love.
Yes.
And I think that's the revolution that we need.
That's it.
Agape
Agape.
love.
Yes.
And that's what is going to be our revolution in the future.
Man.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Chief, this has been great once again.
And great. Look
Don't
forward.
miss it next week. We got some good stuff to talk about.
Amen.
God bless you.
Peace.